Hey everybody, this is Way to Fail, and we are here today with kind of a postscript for game Dev Tycoon, a game that I've played a little bit into the future. It's year 43 now, and I just want to briefly go over sort of my thoughts in the post-game. I'll just give you a brief 5-second version of it. This game really is meant to end at 30 years, and it just kind of becomes a grind, which is okay for some people, but it's more fun for me probably to start over. Let me just give you a brief rundown of what's happened in my games since then. I've released Western Star Online and multiple expansions. I made over $1 billion on it, but kind of a needling profit. And then I made a few other games kind of early in the year 30 cycle. Kitty Shake was, I think, the last one you all saw. I then developed a new console, the Good Kitty Prowler, and I actually decided to reboot my Space Cats Ahoy attempt, or my Space Cat disaster, and I did a lot better that time, so that worked out pretty well. Then I did a cyberpunk action RPG, which got a 7. People didn't really like it. I did a game dev simulation that people didn't really like. And then I went for a new engine in just 9, 8, and then I made a new console that has all the features of that new engine in there. And unfortunately, it was about 3 o'clock when I made this title. It's Western Star Online 4000. Apparently it's double online. But I got a 9.75 on it. So that's freaking awesome right there. And I've made a ton of money off of that. And I just released Secret Kitty Prison, which isn't so bad. I have some new stuff. I'm currently making Gully sounds, but let's just talk about sort of the post game. There's not really a lot to do. Money's very easy to come by. It's pretty much a big score run just to see, hey, how do you want to do this? I mean, my hardware budget's still doing stuff. I mean, there's not too much to it. Well, let me go ahead and just do, this is a music casual game, so dialogues can screw themselves. We want good level design. We don't care so much about AI. So we don't need, see, I've got a lot of new features that I've added over in here. So don't really need that. Level design's going to be good. Can I actually throw mini games in there too? Yes, I can. And AI, self-learning AI, yeah, that is not happening. That'd be funny, but that's not happening. So John Stewart, our AI guy, is apparently getting super overworked because he's also on level design for this all of a sudden. That's no good. Who do we want to put on level design? We're not going to have much in the way of world design, so I'll actually take over that this time around. I'm not a specialist for it, but it's a music casual game. Whatever, man. Now, MMOs, like I said before, they will keep increasing in cost until you release expansions and keep it going. So you do want to release expansions there. I did make a new console. Since it's a box, I couldn't resist actually calling it the Schrodinger. Pretty much the way consoles work, and you'll be able to see that after this, is that there's no other releases. There's no great incentive to do better. So, I mean, I still have 9 million consoles sold, but somehow 110, 111 million on there. Now my R&D lab is currently just eating budget with no project in there right now. I'm really going to be overworking myself today, I think. But I don't really want to put somebody else in there right now. I guess I will. It's still 132, which isn't fantastic, but yeah, that'll do. Yeah, that'll do okay, I guess. Because I could put Audrey over here and work her a little bit. I'm not going to get any awards for my budget here. Let's see, our AAA marketing campaign or own convention. I guess I can try the marketing campaign now. I believe this is a AAA game. It's developing like one. But yeah, the AAA goodness of something. And all this does is increase hype as development goes. And you can see I'm at 400 and something hype. Just year 12. It's just kind of more the same of the game, which for some people they really like that. I mean, it's good that they don't just cut off the game and end it, because you do sometimes feel like, hey, you got some more stuff you want to do. But for me, I'm just kind of sitting here like, okay, it's another AAA game. Is it going to be successful or not successful? Successful or not successful? I still would be chasing that elusive 10.0 that I'm just not getting. And you can see here, Western Star Online 4000, because apparently I had to switch it to the future. I'll talk about that in just a minute, though. pretty much you're just kind of stuck with doing the same thing. And AAA games get a ton of bugs, so the debugging process actually takes a long time. But you can see here my costs are going up. I'm going to need to make an expansion for this because I'm starting to lose money on it. But if you noticed, Western Star Online is now a sci-fi RPG instead of a fantasy RPG. The reason I did that was something that bothered me a little bit. I took the other MMO offline because it was just costing way too much money for the sales I was making. And I couldn't reboot it. I couldn't make another sequel to my old franchise. So I had to go and make something new. It'd be nice if you could actually make something like an EverQuest 2 or I can't remember any other MMOs that made sequels, but I'll just make whatever. I'll just make a large booth. It doesn't really matter too much. We're already releasing here, so let's just talk real quick. Yeah, so pretty much I couldn't make a sequel to my RPG that you take off the market. So if you make an MMO and you take it off the market, that's it. There's no turning back. But you see, I don't have a lot to spend my research points on. It's just pretty much my game is going, and I'm going to need to get an expansion pack for my MMO super fast, or I'm going to be in trouble. So let's hear Gully Sounds. How hyped are you? 9,000. We had the #1 booth this year. Yay, release it. So, new topic, new combo, all that is still good. But yeah, we're just going to make one expansion for this just to see how it does. We're up to graphics 7, which is something you actually have to research in the R&D lab. You can see my team is getting stronger, but they also make more money. So let's see, how crappy did we do? Probably pretty crappy, to be honest. Quirky but good. Not really what people were wanting or expecting. I don't know if it's going to sell. I mean, I kind of mailed this one in, I guess. It was just a... well, the scores aren't terrible. I guess the 6 is kind of the outlier there. So we're just going to let our team get tired, and this is the cycle that you have to go through when you're making AAA games constantly, is your team's going to get tired, and there's not a lot you can do about it. Fortunately, Gully Sounds, even if it received mixed reviews, still received positive enough reviews to actually sell. So it looks like we're going to make back money. And you can see in my little cat, yeah, we made back quite a bit of money on that. And you can see here I have over $1 billion. You can see that I get sales here. I have the Steam equivalent in this game, and I'll get an occasional pop-up for that for $250,000. Don't know if it was really worth it to get it, but I guess over a long enough timeline it's okay. So we're getting some money thanks to our E3 exposure for the MMO, but it is time to develop an expansion pack to Western Star Online 4K. So this is... we're going to go ahead and fix this. It's a AAA MMO sci-fi RPG for the Schrodinger, and we're doing it in Endless Cat, which is our final engine here. But we're actually going to call this Western Star Online 4K, not 40K, because that would be Warhammer. And then what other little spacey thing can we do with this or call it? I'm not exactly sure. I don't exactly know what it means for the whole area, but Horizon, or just let's call it Horizons. I like to imagine this game as being what Star Trek Online wanted to be, where there is land-based missions and space missions. So we're gonna keep people suckling to the teat of our MMORPG, and Gully Sounds makes a ton of sales. So let's see here, this is a sci-fi RPG. So we're going to be doing this the same way we have been with RPGs since time immemorial, but now that we have specialists, we really want the specialists on there. So can we get all these in there? Everything except for reactive quests. But I can get pretty close to it. So yeah, there we go. We'll do it that way, because we don't need a lot of engine stuff. I want reactive quest. I love immersive storytelling. But I'll take interactive storytelling because it is just a freaking MMO. I could take out online play. I'm going to take out video feedback and mod support. 99's probably good enough there. We'll make it 100. Gameplay, virtual reality headset. That was something I put in the last game. You can add little cutesy hardware to it, but I'm going to take out steering wheel control. We'll see if this does okay, and we'll take out joystick control. Would like to have skill trees in there, but I'd like to have a lot of things that I'm not having. I mean, I think this game actually blindly looks at what features you put in. It doesn't really care what the features are, which is a little sad. But... So we're going to do our R&D lab, start a project, AAA marketing campaign, just to build the hype for this by quite a margin. I still don't know if these boosts do anything, but we're still making enough sales on the MMO for this to work. How have we actually done gameplays wise? We've made almost 100 million there. Secret Kitty Prison made more because we're still doing the kitten prison thing. So far I've made nearly $1 billion. This is a prime time to make a new expansion. We're pretty much just going to do this, like I said, it's just a small postscript look at what the later game looks like. Oh, wow. Okay, so the market is currently going towards strange combinations. So this is where we're going to get kicked in the nuts, especially with the AAA game, because we've started this train, and it is not going to stop. If you can hit this early and hit it just right, you're going to get a score bonus, but we're going to get kicked in the review nuts for this, because we're releasing something conventional. Which is funny, because one of the biggest complaints that I hear about MMORPGs is when you change stuff. So as much as I love no loading screens, we're not going to do that. Realistic body language, celebrity voice acting, voiceovers, yeah. So there we go, we have all kinds of features. Self-learning AI is not going to compute. And let's just make sure we got our specialist in here. Audrey Price is our dialogue specialist. We don't know who our level design specialist is, but we don't want me to be doing that. So we're going to put JStew back on that. And what do you know, right at 100%. So yeah, this is going to be a terribly reviewed game just because the strange combination popping up. I wish it would pop up in a way where I could take advantage of it more, but I mean, that's how trends work. You can't always read the tea leaves. And in my first playthrough, strange combos didn't come up ever. And this time it's come up 2 or 3 times. And I've yet to be able to take advantage of it. So I'm doing my AAA marketing campaign. I'm actually going to do a large marketing campaign as well, but you know spending on the large one doesn't do anything compared to the budget per month for the AAA game. So, what can you do? This is going to suck just a little bit more than usual. So let's see here. World design, we want high. Graphics, we want high. Sound, we want high. I'm not entirely sure how we're going to do this, but let's put me there. Let's see here. Graphic specialist is there. We're going to put... There we go. So we split up our... We divvied up our stuff a little bit better. Realistic weather's not going to fit. But all those other things will. Surround sound. We'll try that. So kind of a split all the way beyond there. So it's going to be a very pretty game. It's going to be a very good game. But unfortunately, because of the strange combo penalty for the review, it's going to be a very poorly reviewed game. And people are going to be like, well, I want my Western Star Online to be like a, I don't know, a cat herding simulation, which people would buy that gangbusters. So let's hear. We can only do one AAA marketing campaign apparently, so let's do our own convention. That won't be till next year. So that's kind of the frustration here. Is I don't know how this game's going to be reviewed, but the score and stuff, the development's going pretty freaking well. We are currently in charge of the console area. There's been no new releases, and apparently 9.2 million is enough to get the largest market share. I meant to show you that. But yeah, this is Game Dev Tycoon in the late game. It's okay. It's more entertaining in the early game. But that is really to be expected. I mean, that's where everything is more balanced. This is just a kind of continuation so you can keep going. And I've seen all kinds of good screenshots and everything of people having fantastic oodles of money. Okay, so I don't know if we're going to E3 or our own convention, but I've seen screenshots where people have actually made tons of money, have multiple MMOs going at the same time, and pretty much are just blowing the game away. That's good, That's kind of like what I used to do with Tecmo Super Bowl 3, where I would just challenge myself to score 100 points every time, and thank God we missed the strange trends. Which is a little irritating in a way too, because if I was making a AAA game just to hit that trend, these games take too long to make to hit it. So now people are going to want to buy this, and we are just in time because you can see this little score mark here. Our maintenance is $40 million, our sales is 15, so we are losing money. And the game confidence worked out. We've got more hype. We've just got to get this. I could release it with a ton of bugs and do what most developers actually do. But see, now we're making just a little bit of profit that should be just enough to get us going. We're actually still selling some consoles. I don't know how we have so many people playing on multiple accounts on so few consoles, but I guess they're all just botters. So, not too much to do there other than just 3, 2, 1, release, and let's see how this does. It could be reviewed very well, it could be reviewed very poorly. But these are new records. So let's release it. I could trash it and say, sorry guys, no expansion pack for you. So, losing a little bit of money. And we're going to get some good reviews. That's because we missed that other trend, so that's good. Good balance between design and technology. 9, so no perfect 10 on the video here. Didn't expect that anyway. But 9s and 10s. If this is an 8, I don't mind either. So there we go, 9s and 10s. Good for solid for MMORPG. And here we go with our release, and notice this bar going up significantly. So there we go, lots of sales, and if you just want to know what it looks like here with the game history, is that you don't actually ever get to see your expansion pack, it just keeps lining up back here. So you have to look and say, okay, we've profited a little bit, not quite up to the million anymore, but if we look up here at our sales, we're getting a lot of people buying our expansion pack, a lot of people coming back, and you just gotta keep this bar up and going, pretty much. So let me just look real quick at the just the console market here. The Schrodinger has a 19.3 ridiculous console share, and everything else is just kind of down the line. But that's sort of the environment that we've in. We've taken over. We've won for 15 years. But Game Dev Tycoon is a good game worth checking out. Just the game after 30 years, there's not a lot to it. So if you want to kind of perfect what you're doing, that's great. Knock yourself out. But I think I'm going to call this a time for me. I may come back to this for a challenge run or something. And if you have any challenge run suggestions, feel free to share them. But otherwise, this is Way to Fail with a brief postscript on Game Dev Tycoon. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will keep going with Let's Plays of interesting games from independent developers in the near future. So, till next time.